I'm joined by a bra fitting consultant from Storm in a G Cup, and her name is Isla. Welcome to our studio.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for joining us. I think we're going to be talking about a very important subject, which is finding a bra that fits you. Do you find most women know what bra size they are?
I must be honest and say the trade of bra fitting was lost for a while. It was a very old-fashioned thing, and it's coming back, but because it's been lost, very few people actually wear the correct bra size. The statistics used to be 80%, but in my opinion, I'd probably say it's more about 90% of the women are wearing the wrong size bra.
Okay, how do you know if you're wearing the wrong size bra?
Well, there's obviously a couple of things that you can pick up on that sort of show that it's not the right fit.
Yeah.
For example, 4 boobs instead of 2, just popping out the top of the
Right,
cup.
that's not good.
Shoulder straps falling off. Underneath the bust, it irritates, or it can be very sore. You can even get welts under the bust. That's just some of the simple examples of a poor fitting bra.
How can we figure out our bra size?
Well, it's quite difficult. From bra to bra, they do tend to vary, and depending on your body shape, it makes it a bit more tricky. But ideally, one of the easiest ways to figure it out is, for example, your back band. That's your most important part. If your dress size, for example, is a size 36, your rib cage, which is where you're fitting your bra, is the smallest part of your body. So if your dress size is a 36, your rib cage is going to be smaller than that. So therefore, you're probably going to be between a 34 and a 32. One can use a tape measure and basically measure in inches. So if you take the measurement around the bust, underneath the bust, you'll probably find if it measures up at like 32 inches actually, then you're going to be a size 32.
So like around here?
Around the actual underbust, and evenly all the way around. So a lot of people measure up half sizes, generally go one smaller.
Okay, that's
So
interesting.
if you're a 33, a 32 would work for you. If you're a 34, then a 34 should be good, but you can even sometimes try the 32 because bras are quite stretchy, so you can also get away with a little bit of free play on the sizing. But that's a basic idea on how to do it. But if you know your dress size is a 36 and you're wearing a 38 bra, you've definitely gone wrong somewhere because you're not fitting your shoulders, you're fitting the smallest part of your body, your underbust.
That's very interesting. I'm going to have some questions for you after this show.
I'm sure you will.
What does the perfect bra feel like?
Well, a good bra, I mean, it must be comfortable. You shouldn't feel it throughout the day. When you move, I mean, that's very important. You lift your arms up over your head. You shouldn't be falling out underneath. And for example, you should never be digging in your shoulder to find your strapping. It should ideally just be there and comfortable, and not, you shouldn't know it's there.
These are all very interesting things. I think a lot of women, you see them fussing all the time trying to fix their bra.
That's it. As soon as somebody lifts their arms up and you just see wiggle, 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 or digging in there. And the other thing as well is a lot of people find a lot of pressure on the shoulders, so you see them constantly sort of pulling up and trying to lift all the time, that sort of thing. Then you know there's something wrong.
Okay, what are some problems people with smaller chests usually have when they're looking for a bra?
Well, I mean, I have to say, one of the easiest ways to describe a small bust, and the mistake that most women make, is they think, oh, I'm very small, I must be an A, a double A, a triple A. And one of the ways I try to explain is if you had to take a styrofoam cup and you put your hand into that styrofoam, in a fist, into that styrofoam cup, your hand will only go so far because we have breadth, and you'll always have a space at the tip. So you can't get in there. So what a lot of women are doing is when they're buying a cup size too small, thinking they are small, they're never filling the cup and it gapes at the top. Think of it as breadth. If you widen the breadth of the cup, but take a shallow cup, so for example, you've been trying the A, it always gapes at the top, try a B and sometimes even try a C, because it then widens the breadth that you're able to take more of the breast tissue from under the arm into the cup, and then the cup is able to frame the bust.
Very interesting. Now, what about women with larger chests? What are some of the issues that they usually have?
Well, most of the women as well, we all think D cup and we think, oh, huge. Not at all. We find our most popular size at the moment is about a 32F, 34F and 36F. It's our most standard. About 2-3 years ago, I used to say D, double D. Now I'm saying EF. We seem to, as a nation, be getting not necessarily bigger in the figure, but also just fuller in the bust. So we're finding D, double D, E, F are the more common sizes. So because we're scared, we think F cup, we think huge, we avoid it. So the thing is, we tend to go, ignore the number, I always say, ignore the number, go with what feels comfortable, what frames the bust. And so that's, make sure you're not popping out over the cup or even underneath the cup, and that's one of the things that a lot of women make the mistake of. They don't want to hear the label, the size, so they buy too small, and they'd rather go bigger in the back than in the cup. Keep your back band small, increase your cup size.
Okay, now Are there health risks associated with wearing the wrong size bra?
Absolutely, there very much are. If your cup size is too small, and specifically if you're wearing underwire, and it's very, very much so in the case of maternity when the hormones are imbalanced, if the wire is pressing into the breast tissue, especially on the underarm by the lymph area, it can cause blockages of the lymph, causing abscesses, things like that. If, for example, you're in the wrong size, you haven't got the correct fitting, and you're quite a full lady, what you get is on the underneath of the bust, you get skin on skin, and it chafes and can cause fungal infections, and obviously just skin irritations in general, so it can be quite uncomfortable. And also on the shoulders, we see a lot of ladies where the bra, the weight of the bust is not being carried by the back band, but actually by the shoulder strap. But what you actually see is a lot of pressure on the shoulder, it can be welts on the shoulder, but as well as the fact that you land up actually having problems with the neck and backache on the upper body, which is terrible if you're carrying the weight in the wrong place. The strap mustn't hold, the body must. So we see a lot of clients sent to us from chiropractors, physiotherapists, because the weight of the bust is being put on the shoulders and not carried throughout and even throughout the bra.
Well, thank you so much for joining me and sharing all of that valuable information. I really think that every woman watching this is questioning if they have the right bra size on. But I think you're going to show me now how we can evaluate if we have the right bra on with a mannequin.
Brilliant, yes.
Great.